Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DoubleO on the Low Show, episode 2. And today we have some very special guests, some good friends of mine. One of them you may recognize from a cameo in the Christmas special. Altogether, they're a wonderful band who I'm really happy to have on my show. So with no further compliments, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Slackhead Incident. Welcome to the show. How are we feeling today?
Feeling good.
Feeling good, man. Thanks for having us.
Do you guys want to introduce yourselves and what you play?
So I'm Harry. I'm the drummer.
I'm Mr. Business, and I play guitar.
I'm Sophie and I play the bass.
Just to give some context for what Evan said on the last episode, the special view episode, he kind of mentioned that there was a band that I was meant to have before them, and well, it was you guys. And the reason why, you guys were the first gig I saw in Glasgow. Do you guys remember that at all?
Yes.
I do.
I was wearing this shirt, I think.
At the audio lounge,
Yeah.
was it? I mean, yeah, you guys were like kind of the first people I met on this scene. So obviously I know you guys quite personally, but I don't really know the origin story of the Slackhead Incident. So when and where did you guys kind of start?
Yeah, so obviously we know each other through the band society.
Band Society, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, represent. So the band society got an email, I think, or like a Facebook message, wondering if they had like a band that could offer a gig for like a student ACOM. That was before there was any real like bands at the society, so they just kind of put it out to anyone like, do you want to just start a band and play this? So I got a message from Callum, who used to be in our band, being like, do you want to just do this for a laugh, just get paid, like play some music? And yeah, I was like, yeah. And I originally asked somebody else like to join the band, and they said no. So then I reached out to Sophie and I was like, hey, did you want to join this band? And then Sophie got Mr. Business involved.
I was second choice as guitarist.
Yeah.
This is because I didn't know Mr. Business yet, but
No one does.
No one knows Mr. Business. It's very, very mysterious.
we also had Innes as our singer. Lovely guy.
Oh, I've met Innes, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Innes.
Yeah, we played the gig and it went terribly. And then we were like, damn, we have to write all our own songs now to make up for that.
Yeah, we learned like 25 songs in like a month
They
to
told us
cover.
to do 3
You learnt
hours
the
set.
names of 25
hours.
songs in a month.
Yeah.
None
We
of,
knew
none,
the
none of
songs.
us
Learned
like
all the same
not
ones. to
yeah,
some
not a
degree.
single song all of us knew the parts for, so every single song was a mess, but we got through. It was quite fun.
You got through it and now you're here. How many years ago was that? Not to make you sound old again, sorry about that.
That was like June 2022. So,
Alright.
So
yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
So, you guys, coming up to 3 years then,
Yeah.
what is the kind of secret behind? Because I know I've been in bands, I know a lot of bands who only last, say, a month, 2 months, 6 months. What is the secret to kind of lasting 3 years together?
It's definitely helpful that Mr. Business is very driven and that we're all actually friends with each other and we spend a lot of time together anyway, so it's
Yeah.
easy to just make a hangout into a practice session.
Yeah.
That's nice, yeah.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Business is very, very driven with the music. Me and Sophie are just kind of along for the ride. Or I feel like I am, I can't speak
Yeah,
for
for
Sophie.
sure.
I do like music.
When it comes to Mr. Business, maybe this is directed at you since you're the guitarist. One of my favorite things about your songs is the juicy riffs you guys have. Where do you come up with those?
Well, I take into account that Harry and Sophie lay down a really nice tight rhythm that sounds very nice, very human.
That was nice, thank you.
I try to make sure it works with the bass. The bass and drums are the most important part.
Yeah. A lot of people would disagree with that. what would you say to them?
I respect your opinion.
That's not my opinion. I'm just saying, like, to people
No,
who
that is what I
devalue
would
the
say
rhythm
to them.
section. Yeah.
I respect their opinion.
For the record, I did not devalue the rhythm section of the band. I know how important they are. And gentlemen, today we're joined by a temporary assistant right now, Charlie, who is a friend of the channel. So Sophie, while Charlie is going to get the heels, how does it feel to be back on the DoubleO YouTube channel? Since
It's very exciting.
you made a cameo in the DoubleO special, Christmas special.
My last cameo was more brief and
Yeah.
involved more pasta, so this is an exciting change of pace.
Mhm. And to be honest, the heel's probably going to be tastier than the pasta that we provided.
Thank you.
Chocolate for yourself, Mr. Business.
I like vanilla.
I knew it. I said this. I'd be like, Harry and
Thank
Mr.
you,
Business.
I'm
Charlie.
really sorry, I only have one.
Thank you kindly.
what about my
Oh, Freya, sorry.
What's your flavour of
Sorry, I
choice?
thought you
Wait.
had one there.
I mean, Mr. Business, you wanted the vanilla, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Right, there's a vanilla in it. I got 2 of those. This is why it's temporary, ladies and gentlemen.
No!
I'll have the chocolate one. I'll have the chocolate.
2 Huels.
Yeah, one's for me.
Only one heel.
I was going to drink with the band.
Sorry, Mr. Business.
That's
Yeah,
okay,
he's
Charlie.
Speaking of Huels, why have you selected, of your drink of choice, a Huel on the DoubleO on the Low show?
Right.
Huel is peak efficiency.
Damn, yeah.
You can have a drink and you can also have nutrition.
Nutrition, you know, this is not
And
a
that is what
sponsorship.
Slackhead's about, efficiency.
We're all business boys.
Oh,
Business.
Not sponsored. Don't want to promote you, just like it.
Have you had any kind of favorite moments or like highlights in your Slackhead Incident career? You know?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. No elaboration, just yep. We've had good times. Do you each have one individually?
Nothing like specific comes to mind, but recording is always fun. Like
Yeah.
recording in the studio. Unless you keep like making mistakes, then it kind of sucks. Like I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
some pretty bad days in the studio where I'm like, it's like an hour in, I'm like sweating, like my hands are shaking. I'm just like, God's sake, I just want to get this perfect take already. Most of the time, it's a good laugh, especially when you're not doing the work, you're just watching everybody else.
It's really good being in the rhythm section because we're usually done first and then we can just have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because there's a lot of pressure to get it done
Yeah.
so that everything else can start moving.
I really enjoy studio time because you get to see the songs come together.
Yeah.
The demos we have, they're pretty stripped back. So seeing the songs come to fruition
From those demos.
is fabulous.
Is it quite satisfying, would you say?
It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because as a three-piece, in like practicing in the rehearsal studio, it always sounds a bit smaller than it does when it comes to live because Mr. Business adds all of his extra layers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like keyboard and percussion and things like that. He always talks about having these ideas in his head, but you can't really,
Yeah.
Excuse
you can't
me,
really
in my bag.
in your bag. Yeah. Once you see it come to life, you're like, oh yeah, he was onto something. Didn't
Yeah.
quite know what was going to happen there, but it worked well.
And do you have a favorite performance you've done? Gig?
The last Halloween one we did was a lot of fun actually. All the other bands we played with were really, really good and so watching their set was fun. I liked that everyone was in costume, not just us. That was probably one of my favourites.
That was really good actually. I forgot about that one.
Sorry, where was that?
It was at Banshee's Labyrinth in Edinburgh,
Oh yeah.
organised by
yeah.
the Forbidden Zone Collective.
It's good that you guys have like expanded outside of the Glasgow scene.
And two whole cities, Paisley and Edinburgh. So
Plays in Edinburgh.
yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Edinburgh took a while. It was one we wanted to do for ages, but it just wasn't happening until we finally got the invite.
You played somewhere else in Edinburgh, haven't you?
Yeah, we did Lost in Leith as well. I think.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Leaf Depot. it was.
Leith Depot, yeah.
Yeah,
And Harry was nice enough to give us a lift all the way up and back.
both times, both Edinburgh gigs.
For an efficient fuel rate of £15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
And we nearly left your car in the locked garage the second time, but we didn't. We got it back.
Yeah, I parked in like a multi-story, and there was loads of signs saying it closed at 11, so we were like, alright, sick, we'll be there, we'll be back before 11. And then the gig was just so fun, we kind of lost track of that. And we got back at 11:15, all of the doors were shut, and I was like, oh, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But they had a phone number, and I called them, and they were just like, do you need me to open the door? And I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
So we got it fine.
I feel like every band needs a driver with a car.
Thank God.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only reason I'm still in this band. Sometimes.
I appreciate all of my employees.
I'm not really bringing that much. I
Well,
can
that-
work on it.
Yeah, so do you like extend the business metaphor like into your bands? Like obviously you have business school.
No, I don't like to think that I take business too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a namesake. We
Yeah.
have lots of fun.
If you could like switch to a different instrument in the band, who do you think you'd want to play?
I think me and Mr. Business would both say drums.
I wouldn't say drums.
What would you
Oh.
say?
Maracas.
I'd probably say guitar. The general public respects it more as an instrument. Wouldn't be called a drum monkey as much.
I'm used to the lack of respect as a bassist, so drums appeal to me still.
I mean, Harry, I know we've sung some songs together in bands before.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
giving it a crack at singing.
I could show you how to sing.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Mr. Business give me a few singing lessons. Maybe one day we'll switch.
Yeah.
And you
Oh.
can have the bag.
So I heard you guys have a new EP.
Who told you that?
Whoa, word on the street. A couple of
Who
birds were
on the
chirping
street
about it.
knows this?
DoubleO has his ways.
I'm a ways. I'm very well connected to Glasgow.
Did
music
you
scene.
also study
Lovers.
business? Networking. We're very excited about it.
Mhm. Any potential like idea leaks you have, like a basic theme, or?
There could be leaks in the ship that is the EP.
Ooh.
Yeah,
because I remember you used to have a member called Brent in your group. I remember him.
Yeah.
He was a cool guy. But
Really normal guy.
yeah, normal guy.
Bit of an asshole.
He had,
Some would say.
he had like a. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say normal face, but that sounds really weird. He was a chill guy. What happened to him, and why did you replace him with Mr. Business? How does Slackhead Incident prepare for the gig?
Yeah.
With utmost care.
That's what I was gonna say. It's almost like we kind of forget about a set list until like it's time for us to go up and we're like,
You try to
what order
sit
should
down
we do?
Yeah.
We normally like to start strong.
Convince people not to go get a drink for the entirety of our set.
Yeah. You want to draw them in, and then you can just do whatever you want, and then end strong. What music have you been listening to recently, Owen?
The Slackhead Incident.
Oh yeah.
Good
Well.
That's a good answer.
I have been listening to DoubleO.
You guys have been like a solid band for 3 years together. Do you have a set routine, like schedule? Do you schedule out your like rehearsals, and, like kind of your year, I guess, of recording, or do you just go with the flow, I guess?
When the sick man of Denniston is well, it's pretty regular.
Yeah, we like to practice every Tuesday, but I've been unavailable quite a lot of Tuesdays as of late.
Yeah. I mean, you missed the show. No, I'm gonna. Do you have any like dream locations to play at?
Me and Mr. Business discussed the next thing on the horizon being St. Luke's.
Mhm.
That would be
Like-
very cool.
We're probably not quite there yet, but St. Luke's would be like a good next like benchmark. Right,
Is it
Mr.
open
Business?
for someone?
Yes, it will be very fun.
Outside of Glasgow, I'd like to play in Bristol, just 'cause I have a friend that's in Bristol.
And also, but you said your family in Edinburgh came to watch you. Do you guys' families come up?
Well, my family are quite far away. They came to one gig because it lined up with when they were going to come visit, so that was quite nice.
Yeah. Mhm.
It was an okay gig. It was a presentable one because we've had some stinkers.
Yeah. And like, how do you kind of deal with like having a stinker of a gig?
We're still working on that. How to do it.
Yeah. Generally, we get off stage.
Have a
Everyone
bit of a
looks
cry.
like someone's died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to bed, think about another day.
The first one was like devastating, but after a few, you're just like.
We've done it again.
You build up resilience too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important too, especially.
Yeah.
Once you've had enough terrible gigs, if you have a bad gig, you can be like, at least that wasn't as terrible as they have been.
Yeah, and it makes the really good ones all that sweeter, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, St. Luke's, I'd say, would be a good venue to play.
So do you guys have anything coming up at all?
So our friends in So Boring are organising an album to raise awareness for suicide and suicide prevention. It's like a charity album for Campaign Against Living Miserably. And we're going to do a Joy Division cover for that. We've actually already done it. And it was engineered by my little brother Patrick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Patrick, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It was done really well as well. He sent us the unmixed version. It already sounds good. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
So, and is that where's that coming out on? Sorry.
Not sure yet.
Oh, I think they said like May they wanted to aim for releasing it. I can't remember
Yeah.
actually.
I think April, May.
Do you want to share your socials at all? As well?
We are the Slackhead Incident on everything because it is not a name anyone else wants.
That was the goal. That was the goal.
Speaking of the name, I know the story, but where did you come up with it?
Boredom on Google Maps in a recording session.
Yeah, yeah. It was. We were originally called Statics, and we realised that was a bad name because there was a few bands called that. So not much search engine optimization. And I was just scrolling Google Maps and I saw Slackhead, which I thought sounded like a funny name.
Yeah.
I can't remember where Instant came in, but we just
I
took it.
remember
Mm-hmm.
a former member suggested we could be called the Roswell Incident.
That
Oh,
was it.
yeah.
Yeah. So Roswell Instant was an option, and then I saw Slackhead, and we combined those two, and that's
Cool.
where it came from.
It's iconic. I remember the first time, this was like the intro to Band Society for me before I go on the committee and whatnot, I remember hearing everyone around like, Oh, Sophie, Harry, Mr. Business. Wasn't Mr. Business at the time, but
No,
we
they
did.
weren't saying that yet.
The Slackhead Incident, I'm like, oh, these guys are really cool. And you know,
Oh, yeah.
I saw you guys performing in the audio lounge. I was like, outer stage. I definitely talked to you, Harry.
Yeah, I remember actually quite vividly
Yeah.
you introducing yourself as DoubleO, and I was like,
Oh, no.
I was like, that's cool. That's memorable.
I remember as well at the first Fan Society session, I went up to sing, and you were like, "DoubleO," but like across the room, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." I made that somewhat impression. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap on the Slackhead Incident interview. I hope you enjoyed. You guys are welcome back on the DoubleO on the Low show whenever you want, of course. So yeah, please go check out the Slackhead Incident on everything. All their links will be in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this new DoubleO on the Low episode. We made it to episode 2, everyone, so this show is not a complete flop. And yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next one. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
There was that. We're in the bag.